What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the second album by rapper Lil Boosie. Basically, this product is called For My Thugz, and it came out in the winter of 2002. So the thing about this product here is this is one of the initial products that Lil Boosie put out on the Trill ENT label as far as this was going to happen. It had the particular collective as far as getting towards it. Now, Lil Boosie was at least around a little bit beforehand to even this particular album with Youngest of the Camp of the year 2000. It's kind of within the pitch as far as saying that Lil Boosie was doing his thing as far back as like pretty much almost damn near the 90s within those pitches as far as those first games. So it's excellent type pitch getting towards it. Now Lil Boosie's come up took a little bit longer within the pitch behind it. He really started. I would say more or less he like this particular album is a classic within the pitch of how I felt about it within those pitches. Not to say it isn't a classic in other bounds as well, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying this album does not have any singles and is more kind of oriented within the sound of like more particular Trill ENT type vibes and within the pitch as far as saying it has the format of discs more kind of low-key and hungry type sense. It's kind of like picking up earlier Tech N9ne type albums before like Angelic. In a lot of senses, I feel like Angelic was pretty much like Tech N9ne's debut because that was like his first kind of underground smash of a product as far as his first kind of album where he was buzzing. I feel like this product can kind of be some of that, but most of the products that Lil Boosie dropped before Badass Way Out in the fall of 2006 kind of had the particular fare of they were just more here and there within the reception of them. Like, basically, Ghetto Stories and Gangsta Music from 2003 and 2004 with Webby were some good type fares, but they just were kind of more buzzing type products. Didn't really. I think maybe one of these. I think Gangsta Music from 2004, when I reviewed that back in the spring of 2024, at least had a single on there, but it's just on the pitch that they did not. It's commonplace kind of break even until about like the mid 2000s. So yeah, it was the same thing with Webby, like I was saying within the pitch, but they were affiliated with Pimp C back in those days. Webby is on here at least once, so some good type pitches within those fares. As far as saying, I recommend all 16 of the songs on this particular album. So it is a classic within those particular type of appeals. This kind of format as far as saying it just has a rough around the edges type embrace behind it. If you're just less familiar with the album in terms of the fares, just with it not having any commercial bite, not really any glossed out. I mean, there is a couple good Lil Boosie has some good hooks on this particular album with some of that particular Tupac type fare that he would kind of do in like the late 90s pitches like that. Was within the format as far as saying, minus the Loco or Lil Q hook that's on Wonder Why Your Child's So Bad. It's kind of within the pitch that this is more straightforward. Not quite as full-bound crossover, but definitely within a good orientation because definitely I would say Lil Boosie fleshed out like his particular songwriting ability just in the way that Tupac and Outlawz kind of did throughout the mid-90s. It's kind of within that vibe that you get. Lil Boosie is like a good alternative once Master P and Tupac kind of got worn out as far as this pitch happens. Just within pitch, more or less, not so much worn out, but just within pitch of just getting past like the particular era of it. So it's just a good format. You just get. It's a good particular format of it, getting a refreshing new folk as far as this first game within the same aspect of the aesthetic of some of those popular type styles. So it's just within pitch as far as saying, it's the aspect of getting towards it here. I would look after the tone as far as saying, lots of neighborhood struts off this album as far as this pitch is going to happen just to miss like the format of just neighborhood traffic, some of those type of appeals with getting towards like the aspect as far as saying just like good kind of sludge within. This particular product has some good dredge and sludge. Some of it's just to miss like the just got done with work shift kind of embrace or like the relative fare just got done with relative tasks within it, but it's also the concept as far as getting towards like the conduct of dislike. Like this album, I will say within the pitch, despite the fact that I'm giving it a classic score, I would almost say it's not to say like it's not going to get a 10 out of 10, but it's just within the pitch for folks probably less familiar towards it. I'd probably say it might be more of like an 8 out of 10 or something of that relative notation, just because I look after it. Yeah, the lack of like a club song on here is kind of within the pitch. I feel like apart from maybe How You Feel, and to like certain extents, maybe like one other song on here, which I'm trying to figure out which one. Maybe How You Feel and Head Busted, some of those have ones within pitch. A lot of this just has the particular fare. There might be one other one on here. See, apart from How You Feel and Head Busted, say a couple other club type moments on here would be Gangsta Shit and then Bucked Up within some of those type of appeals within the aspect of it. But I look within the tone as far as saying a lot of this, particularly like Boosie, is pretty versatile within the pitch behind it. It's definitely something that he has the ability to do. He's not someone that gets pigeonholed at only having like the dance songs or only having like the dance songs, only having like the ladies songs or the stunt type songs or some of those type pitches or the posse songs. Some of those type formats are just the lyrical ones, just in aspects. It's kind of the pitch as far as saying that he has like the widespread, like there's some good songwritings on here within pitch, like good song topic talking about Wonder Why Your Child's So Bad. It's a good, nice one. Waiting on a Visit's a nice one within some of those type of appeals. Consequences has some of that type of appeal. Worldwide Struggle, some of these type pitches are just extra type fare of having more to offer than just the product. I mean, it just consistently nails like the style of like adapting towards more like a southern type sense of the stuff that Tupac and Outlawz were trying to get to in Masterpiece and stuff, folks. It just has that particular appeal. Yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. Stay within a pitch. So I'm going to talk about these just in the order behind it. My Nigga Then is a real nice one. It's like a classic kind of 2000s kind of Brody music to kind of get here to spark a few I'd had to say within the tone behind it. Toast with Pals, some of those type pitches within the tone. It's like some good summer sunshine type fun. The song is like some good summer sunshine type fun within the pitch as far as what's supposed to happen. So it's just when the pitch as far as getting towards it, just the aspect of really, that same sort of aspect, just the particular style like Thug Life, Thug Living type pitches like that, ripped out of 96, or ripped out of 96 with Tupac, ripped out of the late 90s with Masterpiece, some of those particular type of feels within the tone behind it, just typical type fashion, just ride out type music, good type format, just Lil Boosie fleshing out his sound and getting towards it. About that is a quality one. It's like a just wrapped up typical day slag to kind of get here with an aspect of it, just good cruise around I had to say, and just some in between kind of errands. About that would be a song for like some in between kind of errands get done up within some of that pitch. So just the form, just really, I mean, it's kind of, this is what I talk about with the budget just being lower. It's not so much lower in terms of quality, but this is the pitch as far as getting towards like the concept. It's the budget as far as saying that, particularly like the embrace of getting done with work shift and some of those type fares. It's just the format. It just has a little bit more brassy a sound. Some of those particular type fares amongst it just kind of cruise around within the fashion. It just has not so much abrasive within the sense, but just a little bit more just roundabout within a particular product of just getting towards it. Feels like, I mean, compared to the fare of something that you would listen to when it's 345, 445, it's definitely a good type pitch to have like that relative rambunctious kind of energy about it, but just has just mildly rough around the edges, but it is some good type aspects to be able to get here. There's a number of songs that were like this off of Gangsta Music from what I remember from 2004 and Webby's Savage Life 1, some of those type pitches just within the format. But yeah, this song, the thing I like about this album is it does feel ancient, but it's just the format as far as saying that Lil Boosie does not as much full bounce. Just within the pitch as far as saying that this project, even though the budget's lower, it still feels like a pretty relevant to like the early 2000s and 2000s as far as what's first going to happen. This is kind of the format that Lil Boosie felt like new school back in those days of what was out, particularly around 2002, around this particular fair, because this came out like the first day of 2002. If the Wikipedia is accurate with it, it says that this came out January 1st of 2002, so it's just within the pitch as far as saying that the kickoff for 2002, considering the product of what was out, so this was pretty much made, you know, within the format. This project was made throughout 2001, so you just look within the pitch as far as saying the sounds that were kind of around back then, apart from maybe like Jermaine Dupri and Ludacris, maybe Mystical, some of those type folks that were kind of working on stuff around that time. For folks within that similar type fashion, there wasn't a ton of stuff that 2001 was still kind of fleshing things out within, more or less. So it's just the tangent, but yeah, to say Lil Boosie definitely had the sound being able to get towards it, some good type appeals that just doesn't feel that old or relic-y within the fact. I mean, it's old considering that it's 23, 24 years ago, but still the pitch as far as saying it has some good type fares. For My Thugz, the title track is a nice one. It's like a shout out to real folk. I'd have to say within the tone behind it is the homies and folks like that that just keep it real with you. Some of those type of fares is basic kind of dap type song. It's like basic kind of overcast and in between kind of pitches like that. Some of those type fares. There's a number of in between songs off this album, which is some good type fashions. Just nails some of those Tech N9ne and kind of folks like that in certain senses. Not as much Eminem because he was kind of too large to particularly have too many in between type moments, but definitely Tech N9ne type fares. Some of those type folks that say probably hops in certain senses. It's like a good cold brew kind of turn up some of those type pitches. Just kind of drink it on like a random kind of Tuesday, some of those type pitches, just like an overcast kind of day or fares like that. Hitting up a bar, some sort of saloon pitches like that at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Just basically kind of in between type dredge with them pitch behind it. It's the same sort of fashion with Waiting on a Visit. It's like a good songwriting, I had to say, within the pitch behind this song. It's very Master P and Tupac like, I had to say, within the pitch behind it. Just ode to like folks is some of those type fares that are just caught up or having to deal with situations as far as the particular as far as the particular kind of forlornness and mishaps kind of go along with it, and this like some homebound kind of edginess to kind of get. So this is the factor of getting like a Thug Life type song that's more in a pitch and more hospital type music, or this within the format it is talking about the fair of dislike. It's more commissary and cemetery type music within the tone of just like catching up with folks, just in the aspect just kind of having that particular fair, just keeping up with folks and keeping the mood right as far as those fairs kind of having a good type pitch. Thug in My Life is a nice one here. It's like a real talk kind of diva malaise kind of get within these aspects. This typical type fair boost is pretty good. Like these ladies have songs within aspects as far as like some thug life, as far as like some thug passion, thug life kind of grit. It's like a typical grit to kind of get here. Just nice thug passion type tune within the pitch behind it, very glazed. So it's just the pitch like that typical fair that you would get from like something that feels ripped out of something that feels ripped out of late 90s kind of. Something that just feels ripped out of late 90s kind of gangster rap within some of those type pitches within the fair behind it. It's more in like a 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. type dredge. It's one of those type ones like when you think of To Live and Die in LA, but just in a more kind of radio jingle type format. Not quite as malaised and as forlorn as To Live and Die in LA by Tupac, but within pitches for saying just that typical type, just Orange Skies kind of rhythm with this little bit more of like pop radio kind of dredge about it. It's a thuggish kind of radio grab, I'd have to say. Probably one of the best songs of this album in terms of immediate fashion to go for, in terms like the Lil Boosie that would manifest later. This is probably one of the ones I would definitely go for first, make a beeline to if you're looking for more rowdy type Boosie within those formats would be How You Feel. It's like a How You Feels Like a 3-6 Mafia, kind of revved up, kind of late shift creeping to kind of get within aspects here. Just a mild kind of crunk banger, I'd have to say, and just a nightclub bop. Yeah, but definitely some banging type vibes amongst How You Feel as far as this supposed to have an excellent type fare. Gangsta Shit's a quality one as well as like a basic kind of neighborhood rumble to kind of get within these aspects. Just a day strut. Song is like a day strut, pick up some goods, pitches like that. Just some it's like a pick up some goods kind of summer thug life kind of noise within those pitches as far as what's supposed to happen. So this within aspects as far as saying this is basically like a venue kind of rumble within some of those type of aspects within the tone. This typical gangsta shit is just typical kind of out and about type energy within the fare behind it. It's a good aspect. That definitely would be a good nice one to pick up like a standard batch of goods. Some of those particular type fares, getting like a few bags of Chex Mix, of Doritos, some of those type aspects within the tone. Getting like some Cool Ranch ones, some of those type pitch within the format of it. Picking up some smokage, some of those type fares I'd have to say. Bucked Up is a quality one as well as like an evening creeping kind of personal rumination, kind of getting like a drama tone I had to say within aspects. So just a little bit more dramatic in fashion, just kind of the product of just something that feels a little bit of ride out type music within pitch, but just kind of in a more, it's like a Tupac in 2002 type feel about this song. It's pretty keyed type song kind of gets. So this aspect's for saying keyed by meaning getting tore up. It's just the aspect. There are a few songs on here for getting tore up, like I said, Head Busta, How You Feel, Bucked Up. Some of these type ones are pretty good for that. Gangsta Shit within a certain type sense. Thug in My Life is probably a good nice one to have like some smoke type fare just with divas nearby, some of those type pitches. My nigga then's pretty good smoke type fare. It was just within the pitch as far as saying, yeah, but this kind of some ride out type fashion, just some more southern type sense within the pitch behind this typical dramatic type fashion, something that's a little bit more hair on edge pitch, just like that I had to say. Cold Blooded is a nice one as well as like an early bird version of Fuck the Police by Lil Boosie. That's a particular song that was on like his 2009 mixtape. The Return of Mr. Wipe Me Down, some of those type pitches. I reviewed that back in October. Pretty nice slinky type one to kind of get there. Just the fog and malaise about that one, but it's like a Sunset Pier type tune within the pitch. Just some Demon Time Flip to kind of get within those aspects. So just the pitch as far as saying, when I say Demon Time Flip, just the concept of talking about the night shift. It's kind of like some paranoia pitches. It's like some paranoia pitches like that with like it's like some relative kind of evening paranoia pitches like that with like the embrace of getting towards like the hours of dusk, some of those type fares within it, just more 7 o'clock p.m. type aspects. It's kind of formatted. It's probably one of the sleeker type songs off this album as far as what's supposed to happen. Just to miss like the typical kind of paranoia. Boosie was pretty paranoid around this particular time as well, so it's just a good late shift kind of Orange Skies type creeping within the aspects as far as what's supposed to happen. Just to miss like the kind of disc. It has a little bit more peering and snarl about it as far as what's fares are going to happen. Worldwide Struggle is a nice one as well within those fares. This gives like 90s kind of Tupac in between moments. Kind of get here a little bit of Tech N9ne, some of those particular fares about it. Just kind of a brushy smoke up a little bit within those pitches as far as those fares can happen. So just to miss the product of this, like good album cut within those fares, just having some extra stuff to talk about within the format of it. Just kind of one of those It's not as much like a full-bound kind of hustle song, but just the pitch as far as just dealing with the struggle and like the form of like how that particular fare kind of goes. Just the grit of like the product of it, just in a more kind of national type sense, just a little bit larger within the widespreadness. This good type product gets some of these type moments. It's like a roundabout to kind of rope in folks. So yeah, Boosie's pretty good at like addressing like crowds within these pitches, just the format as far as talking to like people as a whole, not just like standard folk, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 folks that are just listening to the album, but actually like a folk having some address within the conduct of just having like some basic kind of public speaking within the fares by it. So it's a pretty good skill set to have that particular fare just in those pitches. I'm trying to think of other songs I haven't talked about on here. I don't know if I talked about Gotta Get It, but Gotta Get It's a nice one. It's like an early bird kind of Boosie and Webby team up to kind of get within these aspects. It's basic kind of drugstore and Aaron kind of track, I'd say, within some of those type fares. It's good for snack runs. So there's a number of songs out that sound like this just in the fashion. Just being able to say My Nigga Then and About That, some of those type ones, For My Thugz, some of those basic type conducts of it, and probably say like to a certain extent Listen Clear is another one I haven't talked about. It's Going Down Part 2. Some other type ones like that would be Consequences, but it's just in the fair as far as saying. Now I don't remember if I talked about Gotta Get It off this particular review previously, but it's just the pitch of just feeling like a leftover, or just it feels like an early bird kind of Boosie and Webby song from Gangsta Music or Ghetto Story, some of those type pitches, or even Savage Life one by Webby, some of those particular type fares, but just basic kind of drugstore, some of those type pitches, type formats that just tracks. Consequences is a quality one. It's like a jazzy kind of local romps and surfing kind of get within these aspects here. Just vintage kind of Trillion T vibes pitches like that. Just feel like standard fare that they did throughout the 2000s, 2010s. It's good pickups and goods and kind of spare type moments within the pitch behind it. So it's more extra type aspects having some of these particular moments and just like in between. Like I would say there's some good social moments on here, but this is just kind of the product, just more of the fashion and just kind of getting along with like the jaunts and just probably just picking up like a pack of Swishers. Some of those type fares are just like some good. Getting like standard extra stuff, maybe picking up a magazine, some of those extra type moments, some of those particular type fares are just getting like some good extra stuff within the pitch, cell phone charger, something like that. Is Going Down Part 2 is another good one within those pitches, as well as like a basic crawl around in like an after the jump type fashion, I'd have to say, within the pitch behind it. This goes with About That, I'd have to say, and this is a pretty lit type one. Yeah, so this very much in an after the jump type fashion, just in the pitch. It just got done with things, just the fashion, like some good embraces from the fair, just very much, maybe not quite as full bound energetic as About That, but within the same type pitch, like a good 1-2 punch for that particular song. So overall lit type one, just in a good mood. Some of those type fairs, just seeing a homie, just maybe you or your homie just got done with work, something like that, just the format of getting ready to ride and have some of those particular type products, so like some turn ups and those type fairs with some pitch, so good type aspects. Listen Clear is a nice one as well within the fairs behind it. It's like a woozy kind of in-between type moments to kind of get within the aspects of it. This song reminds of Tech N9ne, I had to say, just in a more leery kind of romp and wander type sense as far as those fairs going to go. So just the pitch, a little bit more autumn bound and brushy within the aspects as far as those aspects going to go, but just kind of almost haunting, kind of Lil Boosie within certain senses, kind of does some haunting type music. Seems like this was in its early format here as far as those fairs going to have. Most of this is more summer fried, but it's just kind of the fair. This is one that just feels a little bit more gas, or maybe the leaves would be a little bit more scraggly pitches like that within the tone. Just kind of a crisp type one within the fashion. It's good type tone. Get this one, just like the tone of this. Probably another immediate one I would go for in my opinion. Particularly some immediate type ones in my opinion would be Bucked Up, Head Busta, How You Feel, the song I was talking about, Listen Clear, some of those type ones within the format, and probably Gangsta Shit as well within some of those type fairs within the pitch behind it. And probably there's another one on here I'd say, probably like, I like some of these breezy type songs within fashion, like Consequences. So those are some pretty excellent type immediate type ones. But a lot of these in between type ones on here are pretty good as well. Just the extra type fashion, like some Spare Thoughts pitches like that. But another song I haven't talked about on here, which I think this is the last one I haven't talked about, is Wonder Why Your Child's So Bad. So it's like, this song is like a slummish kind of basic traffic, I had to say, within the aspects here, just food for thought, kind of Master P type vibes with it. The song is like a food for thought, kind of Master P type vibes within the pitch behind it here. A good song to ruminate as far as what's going to happen. So just within the pitch, it's kind of one of those type ones, like I missed my homies, that Master P would particularly kind of do within those formats. Just the pitch, it's just like a just ghetto type one within the pitch. Not to say ghetto derogatory, but just the pitch as far as talking ghetto type vibes within the more aspect, like kind of, it's got more push along within the format of just straightforwardness, just within the aspect of this kind of standard kind of trajectory of just like day fair and makeshift. There's not a ton of kind of makeshift songs out this particular project, but this one just feels a little bit more straightforward, just to miss the sense of just hop into it in like a regular routine type fashion. So that's the fair behind this album. Give this album a 10 out of 10 within the fashion. The Soldier Scar I'll probably give maybe like a 9.75, because the quality is definitely on here. I would definitely say within the fair there are some social moments. It's just kind of the factoid as far as saying that they're just not bannering in your face, because Lil Boosie was kind of more in his early stages. It's kind of like with Tupac, how he did have some hits initially, but it's just kind of the conduct that he got better later on. It's not to say better in terms of quality, but just the aspect he got more commercial type highlights a lot later. And songs like Better Believe It and Zoom and Wipe Me Down and some of those type pitches within the fair behind it was definitely the product, just getting some early solid kind of Boosie. Like I said, some definite venue ones. If you're looking for like the bangers like Zoom, I'd probably say Head Busta, How You Feel are like the most immediate type ones within that traditional kind of crunk type fashion Lil Boosie's known for. There are some extra type moments like Bucked Up and Cold Blooded that have some of that ride out type energy. I'd say Gangsta Shit's a pretty nice one. About that, I do like the energy. When I was saying that that's a little bit abrasive, I do like the particular energy. It's just a very boisterous type one that's kind of infectious within the tones. About that's pretty nice one. Consequences has some Tech N9ne type vibes, and it's the same thing with Listen Clear. So those are just some ones to kind of have within that fashion, but has vibes of Tech N9ne, has vibes of like Tupac, has vibes of Master P, some of those type folks within the pitch. So just nails those particular trio folks. With also like some extra kind of Thug Life and Southern Fried type fashions within the pitch as far as what's going to happen. So just within the pitch of doing it. So in terms of the future, like Lil Boosie has consistently dropped down. So I want to say he's dropped like some in 2024, 2025, some of those type pitches. Wikipedia doesn't pay as much full bound to them, but I think Rate Your Music has noticed that he has dropped a good portion of albums. He's dropped them. There's a good product of these to get to within some of that format, so I'm going to start getting to some of these. I'm running out of ones by Lil Boosie. I'm going to start converting to like the Boosie Badass type ones and start getting to some Lil Boosie mixtapes as well, because he has plenty. I mean, understand the concept that Lil Boosie probably has over 25 or 30 mixtapes. There's plenty to get to. I'm going to start really tearing into some Lil Boosie pitches like that, get to some more Trilly ENT, some of those stuff fairs, get to some more Webby, Fox, some of those stuff. It's going to happen within those pitches, but this is like a classic in like a low-key type sense. Very underrated. This pitch like that definitely worth fucking with.